friends. So I wanted to jump on here really quick to share a flip through of this little beautiful little Amity Bloom journal. It's not the same as my my last ones, though it looks like identical. This one is actually a long awaited swap journal from my friend Anna at Cottage Roses Papery. So we agreed to do a swap literally, like, I want to say maybe over a year ago or a year ago. I never got around to it. So in doing the collection that I did previously, I decided to, ask her if she wanted to go ahead to do the swap, since I already had all the things out and I was inspired. So I'm so glad to have been able to complete this for her. I managed to do this journal in 2 weeks, which is crazy. It took me, I want to say, maybe a year for the collection that I did prior. Now those were huge. Those were like 3 signatures each. So okay, so sorry, but I had to put my headset on. So yes, I'm gonna try to go quickly and do this flip through so that I can go ahead and send this off today, Saturday. I don't even know what day it is today, honestly. But anyway, so Anna, I do hope you love this journal. I loved making it for you, and yes. So we both swapped, by the way, Amity Bloom style journals. So hers is on the way. I cannot wait. And I'll be sharing a flip through of Anna's journal for me once I receive it in the mail. So yes, so pretty much the same thing, same closure. I had just enough of the fabrics that I used in the last one to create this one. So the next set of journals that I make in this style is going to be like different colors and things like that. I do have more of this wallpaper, but very little of this wallpaper. Like, I have enough to do 2 just the covers, and then I have to play around with the fabrics and things. But so the last ones I had done a charm. For this one I'm including a bookmark, cabochon. She's gonna get her charms on the side, and some of this chiffon avocado dyed that I did. So she has that if she wants to replace the closure. And Anna, you can use this any way that you'd like. You can snip it. I kept it very simple. So it's just the vintage lace on a coffee dyed muslin. This tag, I guess because of the bow, was way too chunky, so I'm just leaving it on the side. So there's that one. But yeah, so the closure, I just love. I did it for the other ones as well, and I just love how simple it is. I just absolutely love this lace. I only have one small strip of it left for myself, so when I make my journal, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it for me. I don't have any more. This was thrifted, and I wish I can find it again. I don't even know what type of lace this is called, but it's so beautiful. So yeah, she could use it as the closure or however she wants to use it. In this cover, I decided to go with the green sari, some of the tatting throughout, and a piece of like this little bling, this little glass beaded thing. And I just love that pop of color. I didn't have any more of the quilt piece that I used on the others, but I had some more of this fabric left over. This was the last of it, so I used it here, and I used it for the ruffle here. But I pretty much tried to stick to the same style, since this was the one that she loved in the collection. And I put some vintage crochet lace peeking out the side. And then for this one, I did try to, with Amity Bloom inspiration, I did her little patch that she does here with the fabric on the vintage frame, and I put Bloom with Grace. Super chunky with the ephemera, and it is chunky even without. It's one signature. But yeah, these types of journals, they do get quite chunky because of all the layering, but there's still room to grow, you know. Just love these so much. Okay. Oh, and then this time for the embossed paper on the side, I used that rag paper and I embossed it. I absolutely love how that feels, and it gives it such a nice look. But this is just a little combination of just vintage pieces, some non-vintage, like this little, I forgot to say it in my last video, but these little velvet pieces I dyed. I was supposed to have like an avocado dyed paper and fabric collection that never came out, but that'll be coming out eventually, but that was part of it. So yeah, this is her flip. Same pocket with more of that velvet dyed trim. These are my like little dyed fabrics, and these are one of my book page slash pattern paper receipt, not pattern paper receipt, pattern paper tags. I don't know what I call these, but I've done these a lot. I shared how I do them in a couple of my videos. So yeah, I included that, and I had still have like two or three more of these charms left for the next collection. This is some Italian paper. I had gotten this old paper pack from Roxy Creations a while ago, about a year or so ago, and I love how it has like this watermark. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but she'll see it in person. So it looks really cool, and I included some of this off of one of the documents, and I'm not sure if I don't think, yeah, I think I did leave it open. I tried to leave these frames open at one part so that she can stick a photo if she wants, and do some journaling on the side. Lots of watercolor paper. This is a tuck, and here I just collaged some fabrics, applique. And this will look familiar. Oh, and just to note, in all the other journals, I didn't include these, but I left the strings long here for the signature, and I decided to put some glass beads. So Anna, you can always, you know, snip that off if you'd like and use it somewhere else. But I did leave it long, so I decided to put some beads. I tried to keep these, like I said, decorated as much as I could the same with whatever materials I had available. Here in this pocket, I just put a little printable from Apple of His Eye so she could journal on. And then this is the little booklet. Just gonna speed through it because I didn't decorate it, but I put a bunch of antique documents. That's In Faith Inspirations. And so I didn't decorate it. I just left it as is. So she can, you know, collage with it, put photos however she wants to use that. Here's another one of my little tags that I embossed. And then for this one, I just used one of these little vintage scallop pieces with some sari. And then this is a one of those boho trims, one of those sari trims. And then the back side, I just put a die cut. And then I use the same embossed fabric to cover up the canvas fabric. So I left it plain so she can personalize it as she would like. And then this is gonna be, I'm not gonna say too much about it because it's pretty much the same as I did the others. This is In Faith Inspirations. Really love this particular section here, this spread. Just like the variations of textures and the paper, the heaviness and the colors, like it's just so pretty. And then I really love these collage pages. I'm gonna make more of these. Love the contrast of the black and the pinks. So the pages, just like I did the others, are either vintage and antique or dyed with embossing and some distressing. Some heat embossing. This was a journaling card that I altered from In Faith Inspiration. So I just made like the Polaroid that I did in the last ones. So we wait for the Blessed Hope. And I left watercolor in the back so she can also customize it. Some This is, I forgot what you call this again, vellum. I didn't fill all the pockets because it would get too chunky. So then like an embossed tag here with some piece of paper, wallpaper, and then a letter from 1944. This was so funny. I found it funny because I felt like the person writing it, she's a daughter writing to her parents, and she was recently married, and her sister apparently was also recently married, and she just sounded so sarcastic in her wording to me, but it was funny. She kept saying that her sister can't be as happy as she is because she didn't marry the same guy. So I don't know what that was about, but it was funny. Yeah, so this is a very old document. I think this is from Belgium, so that's why it looks like this. But I know Anna appreciates also vintage and antique documents. Some of that French catalog. I have very little of these pages left. And for all of them, of course, the accordion pocket. This is one of my favorite features. So I did it exactly the same as I did the others with some simple tags that I just put together. And then this ledger one that was Amity Bloom inspired, and it's very thick because it has 2 layers of the watercolor paper, so she can use it as a bookmark if she wants. Be strong and take heart, all you who hope in the Lord. So I did it as a flip up, and I did lose her brother, so I tried to include some encouraging things in there so that she can journal as she needs to. And this is from The Apple of His Eye. This I got from Amity Bloom a couple years ago. I need to snip off the edges. But yeah, so I included some there as I did with the others. This is like, I have the tiniest piece of this vintage trim. And then these are my dyed fabrics right here. Another pocket. I used some of Anna's washi tape here to reinforce it because this was a new piano roll, and this one was actually a little bit more fragile than the others. So it's doubled, and then it has that washi tape reinforcing it. Love this. And then, oh, this washi tape is also from Anna. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Now, I just got it. I ordered it from her the other day. Just received it, and I just had to put a piece there. And then a couple of vintage pieces. I love this little girl. So cute. Yeah, so these are very old. She could use that here or in another project. And this. So, Anna, I'm so sorry. I didn't have time to make the big fabric card that I did for the others, but instead I was very inspired by Amity Bloom recently. She shared like the the collaging, the things that you could do with washi tape, and I decided to highlight Anna's washi tapes, and then in the gaps in between I put some of Amity Bloom's and then some generic ones to fill up the gaps, because I'm still collecting Anna's. I still have to collect a few more, but I am in love with this. I want to make like 100 more. Like, I have several really old envelopes that were like falling apart. You could see it here. So this is the perfect project for that. So I left it open so that I thought she can just journal in here, and just to keep the integrity of the old envelope, you know. So I didn't put anything over it, and she could just write on it, hide her journaling. I left this little, I'm obsessed with these little die cut frames, by the way. So I left it open so she could put a photo or whatever she wants there, do some hidden journaling. And then I've also been obsessed with these little frames, and I've been putting like the roses in there. This time I just put a little bit of glossy accents to highlight the flowers on the washi, and I also just glued it right in the center. So this should still have a space here where she could put a string to wrap around it. But is this not so cute? Like, oh my goodness, if there was one ephemera piece that I love, this is my favorite, like absolutely. And I put a little bit of gold along the edges just to add some more detail. But yeah, this is Anna's washi, Anna's washi. And then in between, like these skinnier strips are from Amity Bloom. And then like the solid color one is just a generic, and then this one too. But I am in love with that. So yeah, I'm gonna make 100 more. I wish I would have thought about that in the last collection, but it's okay, it'll come out in the next ones. And then here I did the same die cut frame, but I painted it in gold. I know that Anna loves a lot of her gold, as I do too, so I just painted it. I think it just looks so beautiful on this layout. I didn't have any more of the other wallpapers that I had been collecting, but I had a piece of the original wallpaper that I used on the cover. So this is the other portion of it. Is it not beautiful? So that's that. I did the same exact pocket. And then here I used different fabrics, did the same flip up. I didn't put the photo corners here, Anna, but you can do that if you wish, or whatever else you like, but a photo can go there, will look nice. Same pocket that I did on the last one, so the little vintage flower there. And then I just put a really large watercolor embossed paper there. Same piano pocket that all the others had, a tuck spot right here and some collaging. And then the back, once again, Bloom with Grace. This was inspired by Amity Bloom. In her original collection, she called it her magical patch, and it was just a vintage photo slide, and then she put some fabric in the inside. So I decided to do that for this one, since I do have a few photo slides. So I didn't do them on the last ones, but I might do them in the future ones. And this is it. This is her journal. I absolutely love this style of journal. It takes forever. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. It's from the Amity Bloom course on Teachable, Artist in Bloom. So I'll leave that information below, but you can find all of that information and all that I explained about it in my last videos that I did, my other collections, if you're interested. So Anna, I hope you love this journal. I hope that it brings you lots of joy and hope, and that you just enjoy working in it. Thank you so much for doing the swap with me. I can't wait to get your journal. I cannot wait. She posted the flip through yesterday. I went nuts. Like, it is so absolutely stunning. So I can't wait to start working in mine. And once again, I'll share the flip through of that once I receive it. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, you can always Instagram message me. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me, or email me at gingiesjourney@gmail.com. And yeah, I'll leave the information down below. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, and I have some shop updates too coming up. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break because I have been spending so much time on this stuff since my collection and now this. So I need to take a break, focus on my family, clean up this mess too that I have. You know, when you craft, it just piles up things. So I need to, you know, reset, and then I'll come back and share flip throughs of the journals that I have available. Well, I don't have it available yet in my shop, but that are going to be available. Those are almost done. I just need to put closures on them. And once they're ready, those will be listed. Those are not Amity Bloom style. Those are just regular journals. I have the three tall skinny journals, and then my large green journal. So those are going to be listed in the meantime as I work on some Amity Bloom inspired journals. Those are going to be different colors and styles. If you want to reserve one, you can always email me as well and let me know. Email me or message me, however. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.